If you're a 20-something working a job you don't love, sacrificing so much and working really hard only to feel like you're not moving forward, this video is for you. So I just quit my job without any backup plan, and I wanted to share the 5 reasons that led to this decision. A lot of what I'm about to cover in this video is inspired from the book 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman. It's a really great read, and I highly recommend you guys check it out if you haven't already. I think the tagline of it is actually time management for mortals, and it's kind of this like productivity book that's not really a productivity book. In the book, he talks a lot about life satisfaction and why sometimes we're unhappy for prolonged periods of time, and why a lot of the decisions we make to reduce risk and reduce pain actually leads to more pain in the future. Also, if you're new here, my name is Joyce. My 9-to-5 used to be in tech. I was doing growth marketing at a Series A startup, and I have since then just quit my job to pursue a more creative passion, which is starting a venture of my own. And so I wanted to share this journey along with you guys on YouTube. Before tech, I dabbled in venture capital and also ran a clothing company. I was also doing beauty and makeup videos on YouTube, so that's just a bit of my background. Okay, so diving into the 5 reasons. The first one is that if you're not building your dream, someone else will hire you to build theirs. And this is going to be true for any industry. If you're not running your own company and you don't have complete ownership over what you're doing, you are building out someone else's dream and someone else's plans. And that's totally okay and even great if you find that to be really meaningful and you feel really fulfilled working with a team that you align with, building out a mission that also speaks to you. But I think for me, I just constantly had this feeling of like, what am I doing with my life? And this is nothing new, that a lot of the highest paying professions, like in tech, consulting, investment banking, it's a very small chance that that's going to be your genuine passion, like what keeps you up at night because you just love your work so much. So I know it's a really common thing to work these like higher paying jobs, but hate your day to day and just kind of had these golden handcuffs. This was also the first time I've worked at a real company out of school, and it was my first full-time job, but I just did not feel that doing B2B enterprise SaaS marketing was my purpose on this planet. And given that a lot of my previous experiences were more creative, I had more autonomy, I had more ownership, I just really missed that aspect of my work. There's also that saying that says, if your manager's job is not your dream job, then you are in the wrong place. And I can say pretty confidently that I do not want to be a head of marketing or like a chief marketing officer at a B2B company. So yeah, I've always kind of known that I was obviously not doing something I was deeply passionate about, but because the paycheck was really great and, you know, it hit every 2 weeks, like it was just so easy to remain in that position. And I was working with great people, so I did really enjoy that. Ultimately, I don't feel like I was building towards something that was really meaningful and that I could continue building on top of for the rest of my career. Number 2, this is not a dress rehearsal. This was something from the book 4,000 Weeks, and I resonated so deeply with this because I have this weird overbearing feeling that it's not serious. Like this isn't the final run. And I always kind of procrastinate when things will get serious. I feel like when I was in high school, I thought, oh, I don't have to really like lock in right now because college is when it really starts. And then in college, I kind of thought, well, I don't really need to be serious or work hard or really go for what I want because I can do that after I graduate. And then once I'm in the real world, then things will start. And then I feel like this just kind of postponed even when I was working full time. I just thought, I'm only in my 20s, like I'll probably start a legitimate business in my 30s or once I have more experience. And I know a lot of people take that route, which is to learn under someone else's dime and get a lot of experience before launching your own company. Like that obviously makes sense. But I think I just had this really bad perspective of treating my current state in life as a dress rehearsal. Like I'm just in this like learning mode where I'm just soaking up knowledge and I'm not being serious right now. Like I don't need to lock in because I have later. And it was also because of this like dress rehearsal mindset that I just did not feel like I was truly ready for the thing that I actually wanted to do. Even though I started my first company technically at like 14, I just never felt like I was qualified. Like I still obviously don't feel like I'm ready, but you will never feel ready. I think it's the same as any major life decision. Like when you have kids, there's not like a one day where you wake up and you realize like I'm ready, I'm fully formed, my brain is fully developed. I'm ready to do whatever it is that I've been wanting to do for the last 10 years. Treating life as this is the actual performance. There is no dress rehearsal. So I think I finally just accepted that I will never feel ready, and there's nothing else I can do or learn to make myself feel more ready besides everything that I've already been doing, and just running with that and taking the leap of faith. Okay, number 3, I was just not living my most optimal life. I genuinely do not think that an optimal life is to numb yourself out for 8 to 10 hours a day and then you only get to live for the weekends. Like you get the Sunday scaries so badly, because that jump from how happy you are on the weekends to have time to see friends, to take time for yourself, to do hobbies, and then having to launch back into this full force work week and just kind of like mentally numb yourself out just grinding for this company, that hurt me every single week. Like I have the opposite of Sunday scaries now because I'm excited to dive into what I'm working on. Oh my god, I do not miss that feeling of just being like terrified for the week because I know I wasn't going to really experience like happiness until Friday or Saturday. I think there's a lot of people that also love their 9 to 5 because of the stability and the lifestyle that it provides for them. I think that is really awesome, and I wish I could do that and just like be satisfied with the 9 to 5 and with like the lifestyle it provided me, but that just wasn't the case, and I just don't think I could stomach working a job that I just like didn't truly care about. I feel like for the last year I was genuinely exhausted all the time. If I had any free time after work, I would just go to the gym, and then that would eat up like 90 minutes to 2 hours of my day. Ate a quick dinner and went to bed, and then did it all over again. I feel like I neglected a lot of my friendships. My hobbies were definitely neglected, and I kind of just forgot to exist outside of work. And even when I tried to do that and I tried to make more time, it just still felt like I wasn't satisfied because I was just seeking out these like tiny pockets of joy throughout the week. But ultimately what took up most of my time and most of my mental space was something that did feel very draining. So yeah, I just realized I wanted to have a better life for myself where I'm not looking forward just to the weekends, that I get to see my friends more than like once every week or every 2 weeks, and basically just enjoying my life more. The 4th thing that I came to realize was I value happiness above any sort of prestige or status or money. I used to be really money driven when I was younger. I've been fortunate enough to always have some sort of income. I'm in my mid-20s now, where a lot of my friends are all at different stages of their lives. I have friends that are still in college, but I also have friends that are in their 30s that are getting married, having children, buying a house. And yeah, there's a huge range. Some of my friends like are staying only at 5-star resorts when they travel, and they're working really prestigious jobs. And some of my friends aren't, but I just realized that to me, I used to be on this hamster wheel of like, oh, that's where I want to be. Like I do only want to stay at really nice resorts, and I want to only buy designer clothes, but it just like wasn't me, and I don't know why I ever thought it was. Like it honestly, I could not care less about all of the like prestige or clothing or status. I just want to do something that makes me happy and can pay the bills. That ultimately is another reason that led me to quit my job to pursue something that I was passionate about. And I actually do think that I will make more money and just in general have like a higher earning ceiling because I'm doing a job that I'm passionate about, that I have full ownership over, as opposed to being employed at another company and like fighting for each negotiation, clawing your way up for every promotion, every salary negotiation. I did that and it's just not fun. Like it's great when you get the actual promotion, but then you just feel so exhausted afterwards because you do have to fight for it. Like people aren't just gonna hand you, 20% pay increases automatically. Like you really have to fight for it and make a case. And I just felt like I was clawing my way so incrementally that I wasn't really like getting anywhere. If I'm passionate about what I do, I do think it'll bring me more money. All right, then the last, I don't even know if these are principles, but the last thing is that you only live once. I think we often don't confront our finitude because it's incredibly uncomfortable. And this year, I feel like I've definitely thought more about how finite our lives are. My grandparents are 90 and life actually has an ending, turns out. I calculated how many weeks of life I have left. I have roughly 2,600, assuming I live to 80. That's an insanely short amount of time. I think you can either take the risk or lose the chance. I think now is the perfect time to take those bigger risks if you're younger, you don't have children. Okay, and there's a great James Hollis quote I've been thinking about that says, "An ability to tolerate the anxiety generated by ambiguity is what allows us to respect, engage, and grow from our repeated daily encounters with the essential mysteries of life." But the payoff goes even further. Certainty begets stagnation, but ambiguity pulls us deeper into life. Unchallenged conviction begets rigidity, which begets regression, but ambiguity opens us to discovery, complexity, and therefore growth. The health of our culture and the magnitude of our personal journeys requires that we learn to tolerate ambiguity in service to a larger life. So yeah, my last day was on September 6th. I then went on a 3-week trip to Asia. I spent 2 weeks in Korea and then a week in China visiting my family and my grandparents. And now that I've returned, I feel really re-energized. I'm ready to lock in and work really hard, build this life for me that I want, and hopefully it's something that will sustain me for the next few years. Even though it's really scary and I'm facing a lot of uncertainty, I also feel a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I do think one of the hardest parts was leaving a stable, good job that paid me really well. So if you are thinking about starting a company, moving to a new country, creating a YouTube channel, switching majors, going back to school for a completely different field, thinking about leaving an unfulfilling relationship, this is your sign to start now. If you enjoyed this style of video where I'm just talking to you guys, feel free to drop me a comment down below. And if you're also interested in what I've been up to, feel free to check out my most recent vlog. I have a ton of footage from Korea and China, so those will be up soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video either gave you some insight on what it's like to take a decision like this or inspired you to do something more risky of your own. Life is so short, so you just should do the thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!